I'll be the twin you always wanted, a cuter, smarter you. You'll be stronger maybe, but better smile too. I'd be the voice that motivates. You'd say the thing that makes my day, the perfect secret duplicate that says the things you couldn't say. When you caught mom's garden shed on fire, remember how it flamed? I would have taken the blame for you, no questions, no shame. I'll be the twin you always wished you had, a secret in your head, the one who starts the trouble, blames it on you instead. I'd solve some of your problems, make some messes of my own. I'd drive you right up to the edge and talk you down and walk you home. We'd have a language no one else could ever understand. Just quiet looks and fleeting touches of a face or hand. Explored, experimented when we were kids, and once or twice as we got older. And we go camping often, or something else we hold on to. We'd share our clothes, we'd share our shoes. You'd always get the cool ones, I'd get the ones you wouldn't use. I'll be the twin you always wished you had, a secret in your head, the one who starts the trouble then hides under your bed. I'd fix some of your problems and make some of my own. I'd drive you right up to the edge and talk you down and walk you home. I'd seduce some of your dates, you'd nail a few of mine. A little harmless competition, a part of our design. We'd break our noses on separate nights, from the same guy's fist. Each of us would try to steal his lover. The punch comes quick, he wouldn't miss. But when you find the one who makes your eyes light, the one who makes you sigh, the one you truly love is safe with me, a promise I would never deny. Unless, of course, you asked me to. Please be the twin I've always wanted, the secret in my head, the one who doesn't leave but holds me up instead. You solve some of my problems and make some of your own. You talk me down from the ledge and hold me tight, then walk me home.